that put George Bush in the White House is looking at the numbers. This is his own map. He says right now Barack Obama holds a 311 to 157 lead in the Electoral College, 41 more votes than the 270 needed to win. Let's talk about it with Michael Duhaime. He is political director for the McCain campaign. Michael, I'm guessing that you guys see the map a little differently than Karl Rove sees it?
Hi, John. We see what we see right now is a closing race in a number of these states, even a big Democrat state like Pennsylvania. You saw a poll today showing it only 4 points. What we've seen is movement, steady movement in our direction over the last week or so. Even with Senator Obama's incredible spending, we're seeing some positive movement. We've got some time to get there. There's no doubt there are some states that we are either tied or maybe a little bit behind in that we have to win. But given all of the advantages Senator Obama's had with the money and with the political environment, I feel like we're in a very strong position 5 days out.
Well, when you look at that map, there are states like Nevada and Colorado that John McCain was really hoping to win, and Karl Rove is putting them in the opposition camp. Do you think that he's wrong about those two states in particular?
I think it's a bit premature, is how I'd put it. I feel the numbers in Nevada are moving in a good direction. Even if you look in both Colorado and Nevada, you look at the early vote and the absentee, it's relatively evenly split between Republicans and Democrats. And still a ton of people yet to vote in both of those states, even with the heavy early vote. So I would say probably premature at this point.
What about some of the states like Virginia that, again, John McCain has been fighting for very hard? Again, Karl Rove put that in the Obama column. Is that a state that you think that John McCain can still win?
I absolutely think it's a state John McCain can win. If you look at the history of Virginia, certainly it is one that has moved very much to the left or to the center, with Democrats having been successful on the gubernatorial level and on the U.S. Senate level. But the Democrats that have been successful in Virginia have been centrist Democrats, moderate Democrats. Barack Obama is not that when it comes to his economic plan or where he stands on national security. So I think at the end of the day, while being a very close state and one that has certainly moved in favor of Democrats in recent years, I think John McCain's a far better candidate for Virginia, and he'll pull it out. It'll be close.
You guys have been outspent, I guess, basically 3-1 by Barack Obama. Yep. Are you surprised that it's as close as it is?
Well, the only reason I'm not surprised is because John McCain is the kind of candidate who wins over independent voters and wins over moderate and conservative Democrats. And you're right. I mean, Barack Obama has outspent us 3, in some cases 4-1 in a number of these states. It's the best political environment for a Democrat in 30 years, maybe even 80 years. The economic crisis has been blamed, fairly or not, on Republicans. So all this going for Senator Obama, his personal popularity, his record-shattering income that he's brought into the campaign. And yet here we are 5 days out, and we're talking about a lot of states that are very close and a very plausible path for John McCain to win the election.
Is there fear in your campaign that a lot of Republican voters are going to look at maps like the one that Republican Karl Rove put out and just say, election is lost, we're going to stay home?
I don't think so. The people who are committed to John McCain, our volunteers, our supporters, are very fired up. We see that in everything we do, all our volunteer phone calls and door knocks. We have volunteers pouring into our centers around the country. Listen, there's no supporter of John McCain, no staff member, no volunteer, no person who's going to vote for John McCain who thinks that any poll is ever going to convince them that Barack Obama would be a better president than John McCain. Our voters, our supporters are going to work until the very last second because they know John McCain's the right man to be president.
Barack Obama spent $6 million to air that big half-hour infomercial last night on a bunch of networks. Do you think it's going to hurt you?
I don't think so. I mean, certainly he is trying in many ways to buy the election. You know, I think it's interesting with all the homes for sale. I didn't think the White House would be one that's for sale, and I don't think it is. I don't think voters are gonna really buy it. I mean, I found it actually kind of boring, and I don't think a lot of undecided voters are probably watching, and really I don't think it was going to move a whole lot of voters. I think it does underscore the fact that he has got so much money and really is trying to buy the election. He went back on his word on public financing. I mean, I know not a lot of folks have made a big deal about that, but I mean, he pledged to abide by public financing. He's the first candidate since Watergate to go against it, and I think that's telling about who Barack Obama is.
Michael Duhaime is political director for the McCain campaign. Thanks.
Thanks, John.
And be sure to stay tuned for